The human is awake. Good riddance. I wasn't going to be too happy if you ended up drowning after all. Foolish mortal. What made you think it was such a good idea to go out swimming before a storm? Don't misunderstand. I wasn't going to save you. It'd serve you right for your false judgment of the weather, but I've been observing you for a while now. You never do anything to harm the ocean. All you've done is swim and watch the bays. I cannot let someone who appreciates the sea die so easily. So here we are, in a cave waiting until the storm dies, so you can go on your way home. We aren't too far from the shore, but it's far too dangerous to make an attempt now. You'd be swept away by the riptides. You're looking a bit startled, human. Are you perhaps frightened by my teeth? Or is it my tail? Of course, how could I forget? Humans are most likely to have never seen a creature like me before. Not to worry, mortal. I do not have an appetite for humans, let alone some others. I won't be feasting on you anytime soon. Are you truly confused as to what I am? Allow me to enlighten you, human. Your kind has always referred to mine as sirens centuries ago, but now, I suppose you can call me a mermaid. You should sit closer to the fire. I'll stay in the waters, thank you very much. I am not too fond of the flames, but I've seen humans die because of how they were shivering against the cool breeze. If I were to touch those embers, I would not last long. It doesn't sound too pleasant at all. The sun may be beautiful, but it will cook me from the inside out if I stare at it for too long. I do not intend to end up like the man with wax wings anytime soon. You look very curious. Human, why do you keep staring at my tail? It is very much real. You mustn't touch them. I'll splash you if you do. They are sensitive, and so are my scales. No touching. My, well, aren't you quite deaf? I suppose I can let it pass. I thought you'd be able to bring actual harm to me anyways. Not like that. Sadly, I am unable to leave you alone until this storm passes. I could leave and come back to find the husk of your bones remaining. Not all merfolk are so kind to rescue a human, so consider yourself fortunate. We might as well get acquainted now. It will be some time before the clouds start to clear up. I can't exactly deny that I am quite interested in you. I have only watched humans from afar, but never speak to one properly in so long. I have always been curious about your kind, often wondering how different we are from one another. Now that I see you up close, you don't look so different. Aside from these appendages you call feet. I can never imagine using those. Is it painful? Does it hurt with every step that you take? Not at all. Interesting. Enough of the questions. I believe you've heard of my kind? I know we used to be feared creatures of the sea, plundering sailors to their deaths along with a song. Well, I am not going to call those tales a myth, but you can rest easy. If I wanted a meal, why bother playing with my food? Of course, I have heard of that legend. The story in which a mermaid traded her fins for legs, for the sake of uniting with the man she had fallen in love with. However, the ending to that story is oh so sad. She only had 3 days to make him fall in love with her again, and to no avail, he had wed another woman in her presence. So in her despair, she faded away into sea foam, without her love ever being requited. It is such a cruel story. My tribe has always passed it down to each generation so that we may remain hidden from the eyes of mortals such as you. And yet, here we are, conversing without so much of a worry. It's strange. I never had an opinion towards humans. I've only watched them from a distance. Or more specifically, I've only been watching you as of late. Why do you keep so close to the sea, human? What are you hoping to find? If it is treasure you seek, then you'd find none. You can venture to the deepest parts of the ocean, but you'd sink like the rest of the sailors that have tried in my lifetime. Pray, do tell me your reasons for submerging yourself into the sea. Or perhaps you don't have a reason. Do you? Is that so? Applaudable. Me? Don't look at me with such a gaze. My intentions are far more pure than yours. I suppose you can say that I was just entranced by you. I have never seen someone so beautiful in my life, let alone in the sea. I couldn't stay idle after you stopped moving. It was only instinct that I had to save you before the unforgiving waves decided to reel you in. Creatures like I do not take too kindly to mortals. Had you been spotted by anyone else, you'd be as good as dead. How fortunate I am to have found you first before everyone else. It seems like I was the first of my tribe to ever encounter a human since the pirates had disappeared. May I see your hand? They too are different from my own, which are webbed and patterned with scales. Come closer. Yes, closer. They align. I would have liked to see where else we differ, if you were taller than I, or if you could swim as fast as I. You are the first one I've ever known so closely, though we had just met. Do humans encounter each other like this too? If so, do they ever feel so drawn into a stranger they just met? So many sunken treasures in my cove, and yet I don't think they can compare to you. It is truly a shame that you are human. Had I not been any merciful, I would have dragged you down and placed you into my collection of prizes. It is only such a shame that they lose their voices, and that they could no longer move if they stay here. I like how you talk, and the way you'd make gestures for me like that. I have already decided to keep you alive, because you are much more valuable this way. It wouldn't be so bad to know you more, to understand you and those beyond the sea. Though, it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? The storm had long ended, and it is safe for you now to return to the shore. Huh? What is it? Eh? Is that so? I certainly hope you aren't lying to me when you say that you wish to find me again after this. I do not take kindly to jests. Promises? How very persistent of you. You won't be getting in the water unless I abide. Very well. Let us meet here again soon. No more exploring the oceans on stormy nights anymore, yes? Very good. I shall seek you out next time. Farewell, dear human. Adieu.